Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular meeting. And certainly want to wish each and every one of you a happy new year, and certainly to all of our residents in Holyrood. So, the agenda is there before, and now I'll call the meeting to order. The agenda is there before you. I want to make one note that on the agenda, the date of the next meeting is on February 6th. Okay, and it says here February 5th, so that's the correction. Minutes of the meeting from December the 12th. Are there any errors or omissions? All good? Business arising? All good. Mayor's update, and I don't have anything to report. Any correspondence, Madam CAO? Nothing to be tabled. Okay. Planning and Development update. Deputy Mayor Woodford.
There we go. Good evening, everybody. The Planning and Development Committee, we did not meet since the last meeting that we had in December. There is nothing to report tonight other than we are working with our town planner to arrange for a date and time, hopefully before the end of the month, to review the town plan. Other than that, we do have some permits. We have 3 permits, so be it resolved to table and approve the attached permit listing. 3 permits were issued between December 8th to January 5th, 2024, and includes permits for residential and general repairs. So moved.
Okay, moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Crawley. Further discussion? If not, all those in favour, those against, motion is carried.
And that's it from Planning and Development.
Oh, go ahead.
Number 1, we need to motion to adopt the agenda
Oh,
as amended.
yes, I was sorry about that. Glad you picked that up. Could I have a motion to approve, please? Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Crawley. All those in favour? Those against, motion is carried. Thank you very much for that. When I made that other note, I got thrown off. Okay, now we'll move on to recreation and community events. Councillor Sadie King.
Anyway, we didn't have a meeting as well as Planning and Development, and we were waiting on our new director, who's going to be officially hired this evening. Christmas has now come to an end. The lights have been turned off at Holy Cross Park, and as of January the 8th, it's officially closed. At this time, I would really like to commend Robert and the Public Works staff. It was a great job up there, and we had quite a lot of visitors. So hopefully we're off to a good start again for another new year, and we look forward to next year. With regards to our winter programming, I had some calls today about when it was starting up, so just let people know that once our new director is hired this evening, we will be meeting shortly, and the program will go out to people to let them know when our events will be planned. That's it for us.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
Motion?
Oh, so no, I got a motion to do.
Yes, you do.
Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood will accept the recommendation of the hiring committee and hire Carl Hocko as the Director of Recreation and Public and Community Services. This position is a 6-month replacement position with the possibility of permanent employment regarding the outcome of a leave of absence requested by the previous director. A job search was conducted which showed great interest in the position with 21 applicants. After a screening process, 4 individuals were interviewed, and Carl was the candidate who scored highest on the evaluation matrix combining the resume and interview process. The hiring committee formulated a recommendation, and council is confident that Carl is the appropriate candidate Based on the recommendation, we move that Kyle be hired as our recreation director. So moved.
Okay, moved by Councillor King and seconded by Councillor Crawley. Further discussion? Councillor Crawley.
Yep, I'd just like to congratulate and welcome Carl as soon as the motion is passed, or hopefully the motion is passed, which I'm sure it will. But I've seen great things, and my kids have come up with Kyle as a counselor through the years, and he's been part of the Holyrood community on the fire department, and worked with so many of us and worked with so many others in the town, and I'm sure he'll be a great asset.
Okay, well said. Thank you very much, and I certainly concur. And Kyle has tremendous experience working with the recreation, going back for several years. He worked side by side with our former recreation director, Steve Martin, with many events and everything else, activities. So, you know, he's just a matter, he knows how everything works. Now, it's his role now to make it all happen. But, you know, like I said, he's got tremendous experience with recreation, and certainly, you know, serving with the volunteer fire department for many years as well. So I'm sure he's going to be a great fit and do a wonderful job. And former recreation director, Steve, who also lives in Holyrood, has assured us that he'll always be around and behind the scenes and there to help out, as he was during the Christmas events. So I'm sure that if Carl needs to refer to any matter or whatever, it's only a phone call to Steve, and I'm sure he'll welcome that for sure. So, good news, and certainly want to congratulate and thank all the other candidates as well for applying with the Town of Holyrood. But it was a very fair system, great hiring committee through management. We didn't have to go out and hire a consultant to do this piece of work. There was an evaluation matrix done. We all received a copy, and Carl came out as the successful candidate with the high score. So we welcome him aboard. Congratulations. All right, with that said, any other questions?
I'd like to say congratulations, Kyle, and I'm really looking forward to working with you on the Recreation Committee.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your hands. Those against, motion is carried. Okay, so that's it for recreation. And now we'll move on to infrastructure and public works. Councillor Windsor.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, Mr. Hocko. And Happy New Year, council, staff, and everyone else. Infrastructure, public works have not met as a committee. However, what I will say is that the director and the CAO keep us closely informed, as all of you, on matters that are of great importance. But I do have three things that Councillor King and I'd like to highlight as headlines, I suppose, or noteworthy items, some of which were talked about before, but bear mentioning again and refresh the memories. And some good news on our dump truck. That's number one, right? With the winter storm and the snow clearing, and by the way, great job to our staff clearing the roads in a timely and safe fashion, right? The new dump truck with the salt and sand spreader and plow is scheduled for delivery next week to Newfoundland. The dealer will conduct their receiving inspection, and once that is released to us, we'll take ownership of it. So sometime next week, and you know, perhaps that stretches into the following week, but it's very near term, right? So that's great news, and that'll you know, be a significant improvement to the fleet. And you know, we've had some aging assets, and you know, we need to have reliable, safe equipment for our staff to operate, so they can continue doing the work, good work that they have been doing, right? So that's number one. The next one is a reminder about who is responsible for what roads in the town. So keeping with the theme of snow clearing and road maintenance. So there are three major sections of highway roads in our town that the province is responsible for, to be clear, right? Not the town. And obviously that is Liam Hickey Drive. You know, some people refer to it as Holyrood Access Road. That's that section. And your section would be Route 60 CBS to the roundabout. And your section is the roundabout to Harbour Main, okay? So our staff receive a litany of feedback, phone calls, emails about road conditions, both in the summertime for potholes and sort of thing, but now when we're in the winter, same thing, snow, ice, and things like that. That's fine, because we're aware of the issue, and we do escalate it to the province, and we have done so. But what I'd like to do is encourage the residents to contact the provincial responsible road depots for those sections. So Liam Hickey Drive and the section CBS Highway from the roundabout down to the CBS boundary, Foxtrap is responsible for those two sections, okay? And the roundabout to Harbour Main, Avondale is responsible for that section. I'm going to read out the contact phone numbers and email addresses for those area superintendents. We'll capture that in the minutes too, and we can publish that through the communications committee. But the Foxtrap phone number is 834-2587, and the email is foxtrapsuper@gov.nl.ca. And the Avondale Super's phone number is 229-2370, and that email address is avondalesuper@gov.nl.ca. Okay? So please contact those individuals if you have a matter of concern regards to road maintenance and safety for those sections of road. Okay? The third and last thing I'll update from Infrastructure and Public Works, and some good news, and it's about in the spring and pavement. You might remember Hazeldale was a miss on our last round of review of paving opportunities with the balance of budget that we had left over from the gas tax and utilizing those funds. So we've been advised that Hazeldale has been approved for paving, and that will happen in the spring or whenever the asphalt plants open in that season. So that is going to happen, which is good news for those residents affected by that. And that is it for Infrastructure and Public Works. Until the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, folks, and great information there. Any questions or comments? No? Okay, we will move on to Business Development and Marketing. Deputy Mayor Woodford, you're up.
Well, our committee didn't meet either. However, we do have a couple of things that we'd like to bring forward this evening. I guess with regards to our plans for 2024. First and foremost, I think we're probably going to look at changing the name of the committee to Economic Development to kind of in line with the operations review. So we're going to probably do that and focus more on supporting our small businesses and throughout the year, and attracting new businesses as well, as the recommendations were with the operations review. We did meet with Marine Institute on December the 13th regarding the Memorandum of Understanding. That was a good meeting. It was really close to Christmas, and everyone that was in attendance, especially from the Marine Institute side, we had about an hour. We discussed, we got through most of the document at that time. The biggest piece of the document was communications and keeping an open line of communication between us and them. And, you know, for us to be able to highlight what they're doing at the Marine Institute and the launch, and in turn for them to be able to highlight what we are doing here with the Town of Holyrood. So the notes for that document, I think it was sent to the Marine Institute, and we're hoping to hear back from them before the end of the month with a revision on the document, so we can look at it and then bring it to council. Okay. The other piece of it is, you know, we're starting a new year, and we hope that we still want to encourage businesses out there to register with the town. Over the fall and winter season, especially, you know, before Christmas, you see a lot of advertisements on Facebook, you know, for this service and that service that everyone is offering in the area, but are not registered with the town. So we want to be able to capture everyone that's operating within the town of Holyrood. And we need to move forward with doing that. We've been saying that for a long time now, that we are, we want everyone that's operating a business in Holyrood to be registered with the town, but we really need to move forward in how we're going to make that happen. So our plan for 2024 is to identify, any of those businesses that are operating that are not registered and to get them registered. So that's our plan for 2024. So I encourage everyone that's operating a business in Holyrood to please reach out, get an application, and register with the town. We are going to continue our sessions for our businesses that we were so successful with for the past 6 months for sure. We've had some great successes with those interactions with other business owners and just general information sessions of what's going on here in Holyrood in relation to what the town is doing, other businesses, and the Marine Institute as well. They were a big part of our last session that we had. So, we want to continue doing that, and at least we're informing everyone that's in the business community of what's happening and how we can assist them if they're having any difficulties, or even if they need assistance with completing some type of funding application, or to hire some students or something for the summer. So we encourage everyone to reach out to our Economic Development Officer and CAO and for an application. And that's it from Business Development and Marketing, now Economic Development.
Okay, thank you for that update, Deputy Mayor. Any questions or comments? No, we're all good. All right. Now we have update from Public Safety. Councillor King, you're up, and you have a motion there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I would like to wish everybody a Happy New Year, of course, and all those people, the hundreds and hundreds of people that are listening to us at home. And also congratulations to Mr. Hocko there, being our new recreational coordinator. As for us, we didn't have a public safety meeting yet in the new year, and we will start our schedule on the 30th of January and then move forward from there. Okay? But I do have a few points with regards to public safety. The first one being with regards to the fire truck, or I should say the rescue vehicle. Anyway, we got a letter that was dated the 5th of December of 2023, and as of that date, the fire truck will be costing us $276,102, not including the taxes. Okay, but like everything else that's going on in the world, everything is going up and nothing's going down except the amount of money that's coming into your bank account. Okay, but the truck is on schedule to be delivered in September of this year. So that's the good news, and our new fire chief there and our CAO are looking after to make sure all these things are carried out properly. There's no word yet on the community collaboration grant, so I guess in the old saying, no news is good news, and we're looking forward to hearing something very positive in the near future. The few points that I want to bring up is with regards to winter safety, and there's a few things that have happened over the past couple of weeks in the news that people here should also be aware of. And every year there's always people who end up drowning because of going through the ice, whether it be ice fishing or ATVs or snowmobiles or whatever. So people need to be aware that the ice is not safe yet, right? And if you're not familiar with it, stay off the ice. And I'll just give you a couple of examples that happened within the space of less than a week in this country with regards to people losing their lives by going through the ice. There was, and probably some of you have probably already seen it on the news, there was 4 teenagers went through the ice on the Rideau River in Ottawa. Okay, 2 of them managed to survive, the other 2 didn't. 2 17-year-olds drowned. Okay, the other one was there was a couple and their 8-year-old daughter, and a side-by-side went through the ice, and all three of them drowned. There was a 61-year-old man outside of Edmonton on the Bow River. He was taking pictures, slid through the ice. He drowned. There was a mother and an 8-year-old daughter sliding. The little girl went through the barrier and went out into the river, okay, just outside of Quebec City, and she drowned. So this was all these people in the space of a couple of days. And for me, where I'm from, last year in February, a young man that I knew very well went through the ice on his snowmobile, and he died. That was last year in February. So people need to be aware of the fact that it's not safe to be out there. And I mean, I know the trailway, Rick Noseworthy, he was on the other day talking about all the safety equipment that you should have with you when you go out. But it's like a life jacket. Okay, when you go out in your boat, the life jacket doesn't work very well when you're sitting on it, especially when you're bobbing around in the ocean and you're panicking and everything else. The life jacket is useless unless it's on your body. Okay. The other one is with regards to home safety. With regards now that the winter is coming, people should make sure that your generator works, for example. Okay? You should make sure that you have fuel and everything else. You should also make sure your neighbors, we have a lot of seniors in this community, right? Make sure that your neighbors are looked after. You know, if you're looking out through your living room window after just snow blowing your driveway because you got a brand new snowblower for Christmas, right? And you're looking out and poor old Councillor Windsor is over there with a shovel, beating the guts out of himself trying to get his driveway cleared. Put your jacket back on, go across the road and say, Mr. Windsor, I'm going to give you a hand.
Yes, please.
Right? Right? And I guarantee it. Right?
You got service now?
Yep.
Perfect.
So anyway, Mr. Windsor will be looking for you and a snowblower. The other one is with regards to, and this was with regards to the fire department as well, your fire hydrant. If you've got a fire hydrant out in front of your house, right, go out and clear it. Because if something happens to your home, when the fire department gets there, it's going to take them 10 or 15 minutes to clear the snow. And while they're clearing the snow, your house is burning. So it takes 10 or 15 minutes to go out, clear the snow away from the fire hydrant, and you're good to go. Same thing with your garbage box, right? You know, imagine how the poor guy feels. He gets out of his truck and he got to tramp through about 3 feet of snow to get to your garbage box. So take the time to go out and clear the snow away from your fire hydrant, clear the snow away from your garbage box, and maybe show a little kindness in 2024, right? And the last point I want to mention, the month of January is Firefighter Cancer Awareness Month, right? And I think this is the first one of such thing that's the Cancer Awareness Month for the month of January. And the other thing that I just want to, cancer accounts for more than 86% of duty-related deaths among Canadian firefighters. That's pretty high. And I know there was something on from St. John's Regional the other night on the news, and there were some other stories on with regards to people across the country. And I think that is all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No, you have a motion there yet, sir?
Like I said, I got one more thing to do.
Everybody's forgetting their motions tonight.
Yeah, we need to practice more before we start.
Well, it's just after Christmas, so.
We'll have a break to a commercial. Anyway, we have a motion here with regards to the fire chief, and I'll just quickly read it. Be it resolved that the Town of Holyrood will accept the recommendation of the hiring committee to hire Leslie Kenny as the interim fire chief for the Holyrood Volunteer Fire Department. This position is a 6-month replacement position with the possibility of permanent employment pending the outcome of a leave of absence requested by the previous fire chief. The internal search for an interim fire chief has been completed. The process in evaluating resumes, completing interviews, and follow-up of references has been completed. The hiring committee submitted their recommendations based on the results of their processes, and the council have confidence based on the recommendations of the committee to move forward with Leslie as the interim fire chief. So moved.
Moved by Councillor King, seconded by Councillor Crawley. Further discussion? You can go again.
You know, pending is being moved, which I'm sure will have great confidence. Hopefully that goes through. I'd like to welcome. We have worked with Leslie the last little while, and it's always been a pleasure, and she's professional and works really well. Great rapport with the fire department and all of us and staff as well. So a little premature, but I'm going to welcome welcome Leslie into our fold as our new interim chief. So I'm looking forward to being out on the green with you again.
Oh, that's right, you're golfing buddies. The story you never told. And I certainly concur. Leslie's been with the department now for several years, and she was her rank was lieutenant when she was hired on. Worked very closely with our former fire chief, Evan Woodford. Learned a lot, and I'm sure that, and Evan, of course, as we all know, did a very great job as fire chief and took it to a whole new level, and I'm sure that our new interim fire chief, Leslie, because I'm pretty confident the motion will pass, will pick up that role, continue on in that role, and continue to make improvements and further enhancements with the fire department. So, but I just want to clarify for the public that it does stipulate that these are for 6 months, because both, and I forgot to mention this earlier with Steve Martin, our recreation director, both Steve and Evan, fire chief, are on a leave of absence for 6 months. And they have the option after 6 months to either not return, or if they want to return back to the department. So it's guaranteed for 6 months, and then further determination will be made at that time, pending on those two folks, their decision. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, any other questions or comments?
I'd like to congratulate Leslie as well. And I've been working with Leslie and members of the fire department. Just congratulations, Leslie. And I've been working with Leslie and Evan over at the fire department, and they've been a godsend for the seniors. They've gone above and beyond to help our seniors. So I'm really pleased to see Leslie take this position.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? The motion has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Those against? Motion is carried, unanimous. Congratulations, Fire Chief Kenny. All right, is that it for public safety, Councillor King? Yes, sir, it is. And by the way, some very good, important points that you raised earlier. I was taking the dog up for a walk twice today, up my normal spot up to the pond, and that's the very thing that came to my mind, because I can tell you, I've dealt with that in my career on many occasions, because once people sees that big slab of ice, come on, let's go. And there's a lot of soft spots, especially where rivers come out and everything else, and you know, in the nighttime, you don't see those soft spots. And I've seen accidents and I've seen tragedies. So very good points, and I really hope that the public adheres to that, because it's a matter of life or death, literally. Okay, now we'll move on to communications. Councillor Crawley.
Hey, keeping in the trend, Happy New Year to everyone, and we did not meet either. It was a much needed break, as everyone knows. We were inundated with meetings all fall. Not all fall. 2023 was the year of meetings.
Yeah.
So it was a much needed break for all of us. But in keeping communications and following public safety, last year, I know for sure, and probably almost every year, the Holyrood Fire Department had put out the ice levels, like the thickness of the ice and what can be supported in the thickness of the ice. So if we could possibly pop that up again, and we'll make sure we'll share it right across everything and make sure that that's out there, because it's a really important message to get across, that there is certain levels of thickness that supports skating, ice fishing versus skidoos, beagles, that kind of thing.
That's right.
So part of our communications will be, keeping up with our social media blasts as much as we can. The garbage changes did go out, and again, we can apologize as much as we want, but we're at the mercy of the Eastern Services Management Board, and when they told us, we put it out as quick as we could get it turned around to the Holyrood public, the changes in the garbage bags, and I know there was a lot of flashback about that, the clear garbage bags, and due to the calls and the complaints and the comments that came in, they are offering a grace period where you can still use your black garbage bags until clear ones can be found, or you can move over to process. And of course, we still have that one privacy bag that you're allowed anyway. We all fall in the same boat. I go to Costco, I'll probably not allowed to say that. I go to a large department store and buy in bulk my black garbage bags, so we have a lot, will last, but there is reasoning behind the clear bags. There's several reasons. One is to encourage people to be recycling more, and the other is that it's the safety of the people picking up the garbage. They can see if there's sharp objects, if there's cans, because people are being cut, and you throw in the tops of your cans and things like that in the garbage. So there is a reason behind it, and I know there was a lot of backlash because thinking it was a dumb rule and just throw it. There was purpose behind the change to the clear garbage bags, and maybe that wasn't relayed well enough, but there is a reason. The bulk garbage, again, we have to call for pickup. That message was put out by Eastern Services Management and ourselves. The road clearing, excellent. Councillor Windsor, I love that you put out those names, numbers, and email addresses for the road clearing. Show that what is Department of Highways versus what is Holyrood. And again, this is all communication, trying to push out all this information. And the last is cell phone coverage. People are still on us at it, and we are still working on it. We are still trying to get Bell in on a meeting. So, any other things you want to update with communications? Okay. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Crawley. Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, we'll move on now to Corporate Services and Administration. Councillor Crawley, pay
It
some
used
bills.
to be that operational review was in between, so I could sit down for a minute, but that's gone. We did not meet as either, as DSA. However, we did stay in contact, and we did receive the accounts and had an opportunity to look through our accounts, and really not much update. You heard it all from me, the budget. 2 pages in the shoreline was devoted to it, so I think CSA is covered for a while. So unless Councillor King has anything, I'm actually just going to go on to our motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Be it resolved, those accounts tabled in the amount of $131,162.70, check numbers 45445-45469 and D3803 to D3829 be approved for payment from the general account. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Crawley, seconded by Councillor King. Further
That's
discussion?
just general payments. That's
right.
all our regular bills and things that we had to clear up in the budget, invoices that came in, accounts being rectified and cleared up. That's why it's a very large amount.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Those against, motion is carried.
And this is very exciting. We have a bank book balance of $764.63 in January. Yay! Property tax bills will be in the mail soon. Sorry.
Okay. We'll get into new business now and do the go-around, starting with the Deputy Mayor.
I don't have any new business. I just want to congratulate Kyle Hocko and Leslie Kenny on their interim positions that they have. I've worked closely with Leslie and have heard great things from your involvement with the fire department, your stepping up and filling in for our fire chief in the past. So congratulations to you. Look forward to working with you in the future. And to Kyle, I know Kyle because he went to school with my son. But no, I wasn't on the committee that hired Kyle. But just want to say that he has been, as stipulated, involved in the community so much and involved with the Town of Holyrood. And congratulations to you, Kyle, as well. We all look forward to working with you guys for 2024 for sure.
His heart and soul is into the community, no doubt. Councillor King.
I just want to reiterate what the Deputy Mayor said. Congratulations to you both. And the other thing I want to say is with regards to garbage, probably a good word for it. I seen some of the stuff on social media and everything else, and it really blows your mind that people lose their mind over two things. One, from changing the garbage day from Wednesday to Friday. That was bad enough. Yeah, and it was a life-altering experience for some people if you see some of the stuff on social media. And the other one was going to a clear garbage bag, right? And I know we discussed this before, but we are here in this province, I don't say Holyrood, but in this province, compared to the rest of the world, we are the Flintstones when it comes to recycling and all that kind of stuff. Because if you go to Halifax, you get a ticket. People, if you got stuff in your garbage that you're not supposed to, they will give you a ticket, right? If you go to Europe, for example, Germany, for example, right now, recycles 91% of their waste. But do you know what Sweden does? Sweden recycles so much stuff, they ran out of garbage. People can go in online and read this themselves. They get garbage in from other countries so they can recycle it, right? It's amazing. Like all these countries in Europe are light years ahead of us when it comes to recycling, reusing, composting, and everything. So it's hard to imagine that people get wrapped around the axles by changing the garbage day and changing the color of the bag, right? I mean, it is. We need to do a much better job with regards to all of this stuff that goes into the landfill. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I had to say that.
Thank you very much. Councillor Crowley.
In keeping with the trend, I'm going to say ditto and ditto. Like totally both. Excellent, excellent points. So I don't need to reiterate. The only thing I want to say when you were talking about the show, like the fire hydrants and the garbage boxes, all these people who paid a lot of money to go to their gym memberships, there's all kinds of fire hydrants all around Holyrood that could be shoveled out, and seniors' garbage boxes that can be shoveled out. So please take advantage of bulking up. And Councillor Windsor's driveway, absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councillor Crowley. Councillor King.
Well, I'm just once again going to congratulate Leslie and Kyle. I'm sure there's a lot of good things going to happen in our future. And I'd like to wish everyone here, as well as all our residents, a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Windsor, you can wrap it up.
Congratulate Leslie and Carl on your new position. Well done. Look forward to it. And congratulations to the hiring committee as well. I mean, to be able to do that without hiring a consultant that costs money, and I mean, we trust the management here to, follow a robust process. They screened the different applicants and reviewed them, ranked them in priorities, and made the right decisions. But I mean, that's really well done to be able to do that as well. So that bears some congratulations. And yeah, the recycling thing. Oh my God, I promised myself I wouldn't go into it, but you handled it so well. But it's not just Europe, that's ahead of us. Even on this island, like I was telling the story to some of my family that live in Central. They've been doing this for years. And like, what? Holyrood is a bigger community than where my family's from, and we're not doing it yet here. Like that was some of the discussion that I had over the holiday period, right, when this stuff was flaring up on our social media. I just couldn't believe it, right? It's mesmerizing. Anyway, I'll stop now. Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Bryce, is a good word to end on.
Okay, that is the agenda, and as I noted at the beginning of the meeting, the date of the next meeting is February 6th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Could I have a motion to adjourn, please? Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Crowley. All those in favor, those against, meeting stands adjourned.